They voted to make America great again because it felt hella badass to chant it. Like how people sing along with rock anthems without thinking about what the words mean. They didn't wonder about Trump's plan. To them, the goal was the plan. And anyway, Trump would succeed by sheer force. Well, they got what they wished for. Whether they'll like the outcome is a question of the hour, now that he holds the reins in his reckless little hands. What if he doesn't deliver on inflation? What if his policies start hurting his voters directly? And did they really vote for authoritarian rule? Polls will reveal whether his support declines, unless he manages to censor polls Soviet style, as he's attempting by suing Iowa pollster Ann Selzer. More on the ground, listen for changes in what I call Trumpsplaining. Trumpsplaining is when people defend their support for Trump. You've heard lots of it. Some Trumpsplaining is absolute triumphalist gloating, like, ha ha, you losers, Trump is a genius. But there's also a lot of defensive Trumpsplaining, people straining to reassure themselves that they're not crazy for supporting him. You know, stuff like, well, he's a fool, but I support his decisions. He's weak, but we need someone strong like him. He's a bad character, but he'll restore our nation's character. I wouldn't want him dating my daughter, but I'm a Christian. He's reckless, but America is broken, and only he can fix it. He's terrible, but the Democrats are the Antichrist. He's the Antichrist, but the Bible tells us an Antichrist will be sent to save Christianity. Same old, same old. People have been Trumpsplaining defensively like that since 2015. With Trump 2.0, we might start to hear a shift. A YouTube commenter living in a red state wrote that she hears growing doubt about Trump among his supporters. When I asked for examples, it was the usual defensive Trumpsplaining. I asked what percent of her Trump friends she guessed are likely to defend him no matter what. She guessed around 70%. That sounds about right. A 2019 poll showed that 70% of Russians still approve of Stalin. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump's support stays that high no matter what. But what about the other 30%? In private, they might begin to voice a little real doubt. How best to deal with them? There are absolutists, and then there are almost absolutists. Our response to them should be different. An absolutist has zero doubt, anxiety, or curiosity. They're sure that they're sure that they're sure, and they're proud of it. They're absolutely shameless about their absolute shamelessness. If you say anything that challenges them, they automatically dismiss, disqualify, and discredit you. Trump has groomed such absolutists. He ran on nothing but pretending he was always right, righteous, and mighty. Absolute confidence no matter the consequences. Most Trumpies are Trump wannabes. They said they were for his policies, but what they really wanted was Trump's get-out-of-fail free card. That way he struts with absolute confidence with no respect for reality. Many Trumpies were groomed on absolutism by religious fundamentalism, which also offers get-out-of-fail free cards. An uptick in egg prices was enough to justify their allegiance to Trump. That's a typical response to crisis. People reach up with one hand and grab whatever lazy rationalization justifies them reaching down with the other hand to grab whatever the fuck they want. It's exacerbated here in the States by how pampered we've become. Yes, this is hardship, but nothing compared to what true past patriots have endured. I've made many videos on how simple and tempting it is to become an absolutist, or what I call hero bot. People who robotically play hero no matter what. Much of my work is on figuring out better ways to deal with such absolutists. To me, the 8 billion person question is how to humbly humble humans who will say and do anything to avoid even a speck of human humility. I keep looking for better answers. Almost absolutists are different, and we may start to see a few more of them as Trumpsplainers react not just to his rhetoric, but his direct consequences to them. Almost absolutists harbor a dinghy of doubt. They have at least a speck of human humility left. They've got confidence, but consequences still matter a little. Their defensive Trumpsplaining may stop working. Before the election, I leaned into an aggressive approach with Trumpies. I advocated Republican strategist Karl Rove's approach to rivals. Don't attack their weaknesses, attack their proudest strength. Trumpies pride themselves on their macho patriotism. I encourage people to tease them mercilessly for their wimpy, chicken little, panties in a twist, fruity man crush on a trust fund baby who does his own makeup and dances to YMCA. I emphasize that approach because the anti-Trump resistance has long resisted aggression. I saw us as too accommodating. Absolutists are know-it-alls. They won't say a curious, "I don't know." But the resistance was more like, we can't say no. We have to be nice to everyone. We kept giving an inch, hoping Maga would reciprocate. They took mile after mile. I do not recommend teasing an almost absolutist. If you detect even the slightest receptivity or doubt, try something closer to street epistemology or deep canvassing, which are worth looking up on YouTube. For example, check out this impressive demonstration of deep canvassing in action. These techniques work great with somewhat receptive people and almost absolutists. They don't work on absolutists. They would not work on Trump. People have a tendency toward what I call insight overreach, treating a solution to something as a solution to everything. I recommend the book How Minds Change, but only if you remember that not all minds can be changed. These work on people who find you at least a little credible, which an absolutist just will not do. Remember, if you disagree with them, they robotically assume you're deranged and not worth listening to, neither trustworthy nor credible. I continue to look for better ways to plant seeds of doubt in absolutely incurious Trumpsplainers. That remains my 8 billion person question: how to humbly humble humans who will say and do anything to avoid even a speck of human humility or self-doubt. And I invite you to join me and others in looking for those better ways. We video conference every Sunday to explore together how to get through to absolutists in general, whether it's your Trumpy neighbor or your spouse. Email me here if you're interested. It's free, and we'd love to have you wondering with us about the very hard 8 billion people question. I bet Trump will be sowing plenty of seeds of doubt now that he's got absolute power. Meanwhile, if you start to see cracks in a Trumpsplainer's armor, I recommend you try street epistemology and deep canvassing. They're great with the almost absolutists. Thanks, and again, get in touch about the study group. No fee, no obligation. I don't take roll call, and I don't upsell to my consulting services. Thanks.